With me today is Paul Westsells, President and COO of Western Copper and Gold. Western trades in the Toronto Stock Exchange and the New York under the symbol WRN. Paul, appreciate you being here. Tough 14 to say the least. Why don't you give us a status update of the company and maybe a look back through some of the highlights of 2014?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, 2014 was a big year for Western Copper and Gold. Just to remind everyone, I mean, we're advancing the sole project in the company is the casino project, and we are advancing that towards production. In 2014, really there was a couple of fronts. First of all, on permitting, we submitted our application for environmental assessment at the beginning of the year, and that pushed forward. On another front, we worked hard to develop our relationships with First Nations and signed agreements with the two key First Nations that the project impacts. And then on the engineering front, we advanced that as well and signed an MOU this summer with Siemens Engineering in terms of them supplying all of the electrical equipment for the mine. And we also signed up M3 Engineering to be our EPCM contractor, but also to come in and operate the mine on a contract basis. And I guess the other thing that's important, and particularly in these markets, is that we'll end the year here now with about $16-17 million in the bank. So really well positioned in terms of going forward over the next couple of years, and that we don't really have to go in and tap the equity markets.
Quite a 14. What about 15?
Yeah, so 2014 was a good year, and we progressed everything. But really, we see 2015 as a very transformative year for the company. We first of all, we on the permitting front, we expect to hit some pretty significant milestones on the permitting. By the end of the year, we should be in a position where we'll have some sort of probably the draft screening document, which will really outline the project and give us some assertion about how it's going to look going forward. But the big push next year is really going to be lining up financing. We wanted to get to this stage, which is sort of well down the permitting track before we went out and approached potential partners and debt and potential equity investors into the project. We've got to that point on the permitting, so really our focus in 2015 is going to be lining up the group of companies and the individuals and the banks that are going to finance the casino project and turn it into being a mine.
On maybe an elevator ride down, Paul, what would be a message to the investors, maybe a summarization of the opportunity here at Western Copper and Gold?
I think the main message is, first of all, with the casino project, we've got a large, billion-ton copper gold project that is, economic in today's commodity prices, and so we're not waiting for $1,300 gold. We're not waiting for $3.50 copper. This is a project that looks very good right now. We're well financed. We'll end, this year at, like I said, $16 or $17 million in the bank. We expect to end next year, end of 2015, with a very healthy balance sheet as well, without having to tap any equity financing. And right now is a really good time to invest in the company, because if you look over the next 12 months, lining up the financing on the project, hitting sort of some important milestones on the permitting, that's really going to change the face of the company and really sort of begin to look like a very, very different story. Rather than just being a permitting story, it's going to be a story here where this is, imminently going to become a mine.
Paul Westsells, appreciate your time, sir, and we'll look forward to your progress in 15.
All right. Thank you very much.